Afternoon. My name is Corey, and I'm a manager here with the customer success team here at Aspire. And wanted to stop today to talk a little bit about the health scorecard, help give you guys a brief introduction and understand a little bit more about what it is and show you a few resources we can utilize to start leveraging this tool. The health scorecard is designed to be almost like a report card for your system. And you can see on the screen here, this middle section here is going to be your stats, information we're pulling out of the system to see how well you're using the system, with a stoplight for grading to understand, am I sort of in that green, yellow, red space? We can also see on the right-hand side where we're comparing work to your peers of similar sizes. So you can see different companies and what the averages are for that size company. So if we dig in a little bit further here, and let's look at maybe a specific metric. I always like to, when I'm explaining this, like to look at a time entry screen. Mobile time entry is a critical part of the software and the daily usage for the crews. Really, you're taking care of putting information into the top of the funnel, so that way everything flows down and we're getting good data that we can make good decisions on when we're looking at our reporting when the jobs are finished up. So that mobile time entry becomes a critical data point. And this metric helps us understand, are your crews doing this information correctly? Or do you end up having your managers do a lot of work on the back end to try and backstop this process and get valid data into the system? So right here, this company is doing a great job. 93% of the time that a punch happens in their system, the crew leader or crew member is doing it correctly. And that means that they're doing a great job, right? We can see them in the green. What that actually means is, right, if the crew's doing it correctly, that's saving you managerial time, right? So this is an area where we spend a lot of time texting, calling, hey, this employee didn't show up. What time did they get there? Because we forgot to clock them in, right? I know he was here yesterday. We just don't have that right data. That time is expensive, right? Think about what else your managers could be doing on the back end if they had that time back in their day. So we like to measure that because this measures the opportunity cost of that time. I think that's pretty important because I want my managers doing all of the things to help my business and grow my either top line or bottom line. And sometimes getting this data entry correct, if we can find a way to get that lift back to our crews where they don't have to verify, I think that's a good thing. One other thing I definitely like to point out when we're talking about the health scorecard, it's going to be working inside of our Aspire Care, our knowledge base rather. When we come back here, we have lots and lots of articles on the health scorecard and different metrics on how do we move the needle on individual areas. If you scroll down to special topics, there will be a section in here that's built just specifically for the health scorecard. And these will have playbooks on the back end, which will help you start to understand in ways that we can fix these different metrics. So sticking with Crew Mobile here, when you come in, you can see the article will outline what are we actually measuring? Why do we think that's important? Where would I go to recreate that metric so I can do the work to see maybe more live information, as well as some reasons why we might be getting some false negatives. We do like to have some common issues that we see across the board with some companies that struggle in these metrics. And then we've tried to provide with practical knowledge on the back end to say, here are some things we've seen some other companies do to help dig them out of the hole in this space. So, and then the last piece here, rather, it's going to be resources. So other articles. So in this scenario, you can see some documentation we have that we can leverage to help train the crews. Because oftentimes some of the struggles we see with Crew Mobile is there's a knowledge gap for your crew leaders and crew members. So if we can provide some of those resources and you can do some training on the back end, that will help move the metric. And then we also see some other incentives here. So I've seen some companies use gift cards for the best group from last week or last month. We're going to go ahead and get them free lunch. Or my other favorite one is the worst crew is in charge of cleaning the bathroom next week. So some really good ways that we can help move those along. These articles are in the knowledge base. There's going to be an article for each metric, which is fantastic. So you can come in if it's an area that you're struggling on and get some ideas and insight into ways we can make that better. So that's the health scorecard at a glance. Appreciate you guys hanging in and taking a look. If you need to get this health scorecard in the near future, we're going to go ahead and leverage your customer success manager to get this printed off and walk you through. But we're not too far away from this actually making it into the system as a report and you guys having access to it on your own. That's all for now for the health scorecard. Thanks so much for watching through to the end, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.